In the living room of the finca is a short flight of stairs that gives access to the upstairs. At the top of the short flight of stairs was an even shorter door. Having removed the short door, we were going to make headspace in the ceiling for anyone going up said stairs. When we cut the plaster ceiling tiles to do so, we found the plaster ceiling tiles were suspended using hemp and yeso struts, and that they were hiding an original ceiling. Adding to the fluidity of our project, it's decision time. Do we cut out a section and box it in so you can safely climb the stairs and not cave your skull in? Or do we remove it? Well, as we are good at destroying things and we had an empty skip outside, it would be rude not to. I wonder what else we will discover hidden behind these panels. Oh look, more live dodgy electricity. Thank goodness the place is only running on a power wattage so low that if you got electrified it would only make your hair curly. Result: one skip, no longer sitting idle. Between the wooden beams, the plaster is in arches. It's in reasonable repairable condition, and we have since been reliably informed that it is probably over 100 years old. A disgusting concrete lintel has been added at some point to help support upstairs, and here is the original chimney. Along with a more modern effort, with poster pink painted bricks. This is a short video we took checking out the inside of the chimney to see what horrors it might be hiding. We found an old rusty broom handle and clothes pegs and spiders' webs and yeso being used instead of sky hooks. To be fair, the construction made no sense at all, but the wall behind looked relatively safe. So guess what? Another skip required. We removed the bricks, layer by layer, to reveal a wine bottle-shaped fireplace. This will be a lovely project to make nice with a log burner in it. However, the loose rocks immediately above will need attention quickly. In the same room, we removed the old window and cabinet below it and found the window recess had been made of cement and old saw blades, rebar and stuff. So we decided to fill the hole where the cupboard was and add a couple of sockets. The window will be replaced with a more modern one in due course. Next is time to tackle the walls. This particular wall was very wet and damp, so we had to remove what first we thought was just wet plaster. Behind said plaster was another stone wall, which was very unstable. We believe this was built originally to give a flatter, squarer feel to the room when the previous owners wanted to modernise it. We've also been told by someone who remembers this property from about 50 years ago that there's another cave room behind this wall. These pictures show how thick the plaster was on this wall, and if you notice, it's all hollow behind it. Here you can see the extent of the stone wall at the bottom of the picture, then above it you can see what was used to build the above ground bit of the house. Oh, now we have another full skip, full of plaster from the walls. We found out why the wall was unstable. Next door's pine tree had roots invading our house. And for those of you that are not aware, pine trees in Spain are protected, so we need permission to get this issue completely resolved. And here is the other cave we had been told about, with said pine root meandering in. We have enough to do, so I've left it capped. The macaroni being set ready for plaster. This wall is being plastered with a traditional lime plaster with fibres for strength, in such a way as to leave the terrain and rock structure still visible. We didn't even replace the stone wall that we removed. This will be left as a feature wall, as we like the finish and intend to use lighting to enhance the shapes. It's time consuming placing the lime with hands, but well worth the effort. On this wall we need to remove these metal brackets and intend to have a cabinet here. Fortunately, fluidity reared its ugly head, so more destruction. At the bottom of this picture you can see the natural terrain, and at the top is the built-up stone wall that the property is built of. So we decided to build our own cabinet instead of buying something. Here is a plinth being placed using marble chippings and limecrete, and by building our own unit it can be custom sized to suit our needs. This section of wall is also receiving a coating of lime plaster. We've also been able to hide any electricity cabling behind the false wall. Upstairs is divided into 2 rooms and a corridor. Unfortunately, the whole floor had dropped significantly, so much so that the doors could not function correctly. Hence the need for the lintel downstairs at a guess. We thought we'd cut a small hole in the ceiling so as to check out the roof beams above. Turns out the ceiling was made of plaster and bamboo, and once again, a fantastic condition original ceiling. So guess what? Destruction time. I'd better order another skip. Lovely high ceiling. Unfortunately, the internal wall was not connected to the original house wall, so probably a good job we're taking it down safely.
Who built that? Aliens?
What you can see here is a continuation of the chimney from downstairs. Expertly sealed to the outside world? Not. Time to get rid of the upstairs walls. It turns out that only gravity and some yeso attached to the ceiling were holding the walls steady. You can see the marks on the ceiling now.
Hey up, Chad.
Maybe it's wall down time and not beer o'clock.
Well, no rest for the wicked.
One of the rooms had been floor tiled, and to allow for the fall and the undulations in it, the tiles had been laid on a sand bed. Apparently this was normal practice back in the day, as it gave a level surface to work on that wasn't too heavy. In some places it was over 3 centimetres thick, with tile adhesive laid on top of the sand and then tiles on top of that. The dogs took full advantage and decided it must be a beach day. We now have a fantastic loft-type space, and to be fair, the possibilities are endless. We just need to decide where to place the electricity and what to actually do with the space. Thanks for watching Tales from the Cave Side. Please like and subscribe. If you've got any questions or comments, we'd love to hear from you. Cheers!